Blessed love to one and all. We do give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I, the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. And it is with great joy that I do welcome you into the nest, the tiger's nest. Now, this short clip that I'm putting together and placing on the internet is a result of your concerns. Many of you have written to me, emailed me, WhatsApped me, and contacted me in different forms with concern as it relates to the bootlegging of my productions, specifically the DVD documentaries. Many of you from New York, Atlanta, Texas, Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Ethiopia, the United Kingdom, France, from all over the globe at one time or the other. And it is now increasing. Many people will contact me and say, but Priest Isaac, I was walking down the street the other day and there was this fella, he had at least 4 or 5 of your documentaries, and they were written with Jamaica. They were written with some sort of CD pen. And I said, this is not the original stuff. And he was selling it to me for $3 and selling me the other one for $5. And I asked him where he got them from, and he said, man, don't worry about that. I know the fella. Well, the truth is, there's no one that I've commissioned to sell any DVD documentaries for me specifically. But the reality is, my good brothers and sisters, this is a concern that I have addressed in my DVD documentary, The Master of Ceremonies. This is The Master of Ceremonies, full-length DVD documentary that goes into the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie I. And I dedicated 10 minutes at the completion of that documentary to that whole concept or subject specifically of the bootlegging. Now, how I would like to address it, because I'm telling you from the beginning, I look at this from different angles. I do not really have one tunneled view outlook at the whole aspect of somebody getting one of my original copies and then putting it into a machine and getting 10 copies out and then selling it for a quarter of the price that I would have sold it for, and specifically making a great profit. And when people contact me now, yes, this is the truth, people would contact me and I would say specifically, well, I have the documentary, The Black Woman's Presence in the African Concept of God. And I have the documentary, The Master of Ceremonies. Oh, I have those already. I got them down the corner, down 125th Street or 127th Street, wherever these streets may be. And the fella sells me, he has a lot of videos. He has some Ashwa Crazy videos and he has some Dr. Ben videos. But is Dr. Ben and Ashwa Crazy getting any of this finance? Now, I just want this to be very clear. As I mentioned, Brother Ashwa Crazy, a brother that I had the esteemed pleasure to meet. Now, here's a brother that has educated us, educated many of us, and he honors the elders that have educated him. Now, once I saw this clip with some brothers, they were dissing Ashwa Crazy, saying he's some sort of sellout because he asks that people do not duplicate his work. Ashwa Crazy also asks that you do not even put his work on the internet. Now I'm saying, I've met many people that say, oh, I love Ashwa Crazy so much. I have all his works. And when you look at all the works, 10, 50 DVD documentaries from Ashwa Crazy, none of these documentaries are the original documentaries. Where did you get them from? Ashwa Crazy? No, man, this fella down the road, he has everything. Now listen to me good, my brothers and sisters. At the root of this is brothers like Ashwa Crazy and all our serious warrior scholars. You must understand We are a people that are coming out from 400 years of some serious mind bending. I don't even have to take the time to go into the brutal methods that were used and how it was always done in the presence of the village for us to see the brutality put on our mother, the brutality put on our father, ripping the pregnant woman in half by horses tied to each leg, taking unborn babies 8 months, ripping it out of the womb as the woman is being ripped apart and stomping on its head. This is what we went through in our dark days of the so-called enslavement period. And after coming out of such a dread and horror, you must understand that the enemy that supposedly released us knew why they quote-unquote freed the slaves. So now the slaves are free to move around in a specific border, and they can't go too far. Even if they go to Africa, the immigration asks them, how long you plan on staying here? I'm going to give you about 3 months. Imagine that. Some real freed slaves. So we must comprehend, please listen to me good, that we are on multiple battlefields. The reptile Bota from South Africa clearly said that he's going to utilize the hospitals and he's going to utilize the food chain to get rid of this bug. He was speaking of black people. So you must understand that these killers, this is the real slavery going on now. Back in the days we were prisoners of war. Now we're slaves. They've freed the slaves. They can give a nigga a gun because they know he ain't coming to kill the slave master. He's gonna kill his own. I want you to listen to me good, you know. We are on many different battlefields, and the battlefield of the mind, well, I pointed to the brain, but the mind is much more dimensional than the brain, but obviously they are related. But the battlefield of the mind, the hearts and the minds of the people, they say that, is a very important battlefield. So when you see warrior scholars like the same Ashwaquis and those before him, and those that are here now, and there are a list of us that are here now, some of us have given our whole life, not half of it. Maybe some give half and some do it in their spare time. But there are those of us who give everything into the liberation of our people. You need to get this good. In other words, our life is on the line. We are monitored. You may not be monitored because there isn't anything that you're doing that is threatening the enemy. But when an individual is going to come now and tell you, well, listen, man, the first garden, the first ancient writings can be seen on the pyramid text, the wolf is going to, somebody out there trying to teach the niggers something? Yeah. And they're going to keep an eye on you. And if you get too smart and if you're moving the crowd too much, like they snuff you out. They could shoot you dead in the road, and we as a people, we would just pass. Bob Marley said in his song, how long shall they kill our prophets? And we stand aside and look. That's us as a people. That's how we behave. When they deported Marcus Garvey, brother, oh my, they said America didn't deport nobody in a man. This was a place where we take you hungry and take you sick and take you weak. People coming from all over. Only the black people came here, not as an invitation, but as robbery. We didn't need to go nowhere, but we were dragged to the Western world. Marcus Garvey, they deported Marcus Garvey. So anybody that has been deported from the great good old USA, this began with Marcus Garvey, just to show you the threat that he was to their establishment. And when they came to deport Marcus Garvey, for all the work he did for us, we formed a barricade between them and Marcus Garvey. Oh no, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We had our handkerchief blowing our nose and crying, and oh, Marcus Garvey, oh, I hope you come back. Ship going away, going back to Jamaica. And we could do nothing. And that man came and broke the serious mental shackle that was on us. And we just snuffed and blew our nose and waved goodbye when he was deported and then turned back and went into our regular lives. Yeah, that's what happened. Huh? You need to comprehend, this is very, very serious. So those of us now, listen to me good, that are putting our lives on the line. Same Brother Ashwa Kwesi, he clearly says, according to his words, that he doesn't take any sort of donation from any white establishment whatsoever. Many of us, including myself, everything that I do basically is funded by myself. And that is the truth. And I have no boss nowhere in the world. No human being can call me and say, when you're coming. Nobody. I'm a free man. I want you to just comprehend this good. So those of us that are not actively liberating our people in this time must have a level of respect for those of us who are actively doing it. And when you could obviously see that they are doing it with zeal, passion, and honesty of heart, you cannot do nothing more than support them. And if you're not doing it to me, you're wasting time. Straight up. Rather worse. To take their hard work, brother. You don't know, but I know. When one takes the time to gather information, to travel to get information, to put it on a DVD, not to be no rich millionaire, man, but just to feed their people. But in the reality of the world we live today, obviously, if the money don't circulate, you can't get another DVD. But instead of you contacting the same brother I was speaking of, across the screen of every video he has, if you want to get a copy of this, or if you want to do this, and you want to contact me for lecturing or whatever, and he gives you all his contact numbers, all his information, and we just overlook that. Oh, I love him so much, he's so hot, I have all his stuff. And all his stuff is bootlegged stuff. The point is, when those of us as warrior scholars put our life on the line, you need to understand that. Don't feel no way, my brothers and sisters. This is real. This is a war zone we're living in. Many of us have life as a joke. When those of us put our life on the line, you think Dr. Henry Clark and Dr. Ben and these ones should be going out in some dread state? We're kings and queens, Rasta, of the earth. That's why I teach the power of thought. Myself, I don't play around. I'm a god in this thing. Straight up. So when those of us now, again, would just take the works of those who put their soul and life into it and throw it in a machine and burn 10 and sell it to someone else, and worse, to someone else that buys it. And even when the someone else contacts you and said, yes, I have this and that. Oh, I have it already. I have the original. Oh, well, I see it already. It doesn't make sense I get another one. Because you don't understand this liberation struggle. Even some of my own brothers, well, just say salvation is free. Salvation, I'm not selling nobody no salvation here. If you understand the liberation, you couldn't be a part of Marcus Garvey unless you gave your 10 pence or 10 penny or whatever it was, 10. You got to give your 10. Even King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, our God and King, you got to give your tithes. So this is why there's always this argument of how many people was really following Marcus Garvey. Some books would tell you 10 million. And some people, scholars say, no, come on, man, it was about $1.5 million. Yeah, $1.5 million people that were paying their tithes, but there were millions of other people all over the world that wasn't paying nothing, but they just respected Marcus Garvey. But the point is, to be a member of Marcus Garvey following, you gotta pay your money, you gotta pay your dues. Liberation comes with money. You couldn't be following Elijah Muhammad and don't be paying your dues. What you think this is about? So we got to respect our warrior scholars, in this time. And when you're literally taking the revenue from us, it's almost as if you're fighting against us. And that's the truth. Now, as I said, I look at things from different angles, from different perspectives. And the reality is, the truth must be told. That if at this stage, the bootleggers were not on the battlefield, a lot of our information would not have gone out there. Even the popularity of Brother Astro Crazy, the popularity of myself, the popularity of a Phil Valentine, the popularity of a Bobby Hermit, the popularity of anyone is because of DVDs flying around. Yes, YouTube and the internet, but no one can deny that their popularity and fame as such has grown because of these duplicated documentaries that are going around. Remember, we didn't come to pimp the people, man. We came to give a word. And to me, I am actually overjoyed when I know the word is getting out. Even if it's from a bootlegger, I'm telling you the truth. It's not something that I cry about in the night, and so I can't believe that's what they're doing to me. To be honest, I am happy that it's getting out. And if you could burn 10 and give them out, it's just up to you. Because I am saying specifically, when you understand what really goes into this work, even if you have a burnt DVD of the Master of Ceremonies, no, I'm showing you the real Master of Ceremonies. You should say, well, yeah, I did buy this for $3, or I did pay £1 for this down the road. Yeah. But to respect that man's work, I'm going to buy the real one now and get it and put it in my archives for myself and my children to see. That is how you're supposed to deal with those of us that put our life on the line. Straight up. And that is how I look at it. Holy Emmanuel Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So, my brothers and sisters, this is very, very important. And this is key. There's a scripture that says, how can a man rob God? As if it's, like a sarcastic question. How can a man rob God? And you say, well, nobody can rob God. Everybody knows that the Almighty God owns everything. But when a man keeps his tithes from bringing it into the temple, he's robbing God. And that whole aspect of putting your money where your mouth is, again, is not that nobody needs your money. I hate to hear us talking about, well, it's only when you support us we... No, personally, nobody needs to support me. I'm blessed, But it is a lesson to us. Listen. To your heart is in your pocket, Your heart is in your pocket. You spend your money on things that you think are important. So all the talk we talk, oh yeah, man, this cat is spitting some serious razors there. He can speak, and this sort of knowledge, I never heard it before. You should specifically put money into the cat that's spitting the razors. I'm telling you the truth. If it's so important to you and you think it's so important to the world, you should buy what the cat that's spitting the razor has to offer. His books and his DVDs, and contact him or contact her. And say, well, listen, man, 5 of us got together and we're putting some money together and we want you to come down to Atlanta. We want you to come down to Chile. We want you to come over to the UK and do some of this razor spitting for us. Give some lectures and uplift the people, please. Can you do it? How much do you charge? Oh, man, we could just do that for you, this brotherly love. You must understand the time we're living in. So it's my duty, brother. Many of you call me teacher. Well, as a teacher, I got to teach. And it's my duty to teach you this. That's how you deal with us. And I'm not talking about me, I mentioned names for you, ones that have gone way before me that I honor and respect. This ain't no joke. Soldiers on the battlefield here. So it is your duty to me, eh? It is your duty to even look into yourself and see where your spiritual strength comes from. And those that you see on the battlefield, appreciate their work and donate to them. That is key. You can donate to me as well, straight up. You can donate to the work done by the Honorable Priest Isaac. And as I said, we have our DVD documentaries. This is the master of ceremonies. This is the DVD documentary 7 that goes into the divinity of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. We have the DVD documentary, The Black Woman's Presence in the African Concept of God. Of course, the book, the biblical land of Israel. The biblical land of Israel. You don't even know how the radars went up when I launched the biblical land of Israel. You don't play with the Jewish people talking about that's not the right land and this is the right land and we're the true Israelites. What? You don't know how everything was bugged and tapped when that rose up. And I challenged many clergy people and rabbis to come and dispute it, and not one answered. Only one black man in St. Lucia rose up. Pastor Jeremy. Give thanks for his attempt. And of course we have the book Anu, Ancient and Modern, that goes into the spirit of Antigua, where we are at this moment, specifically in the tiger's nest. So give thanks for your presence. And I hope the word that were given would be of an inspiration. And if you didn't get it good, watch it again and share it with someone. Because it is important for us to understand the battlefield that we are on. And everyone needs to, quote unquote, play their part. Your brother loves you with all his heart. I'm speaking of myself. And whatever words that have been spoken, it's just the zeal that is within me for the work of the black God. And it's something that we all need to take serious. Again, it was spoken with love, because I do love you. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed love. Give thanks for listening.